So, because this movement is growing, sometimes in numbers here, sometimes in other ways like representatives, we have another celebrity, if I might, in our midst, and that's Bonnie-Jill Laflin. She has numerous firsts in her career. I'm not a sports guy, so I didn't know a lot of this. She's the first and only female NBA scout, also first to hold a front office position with the LA Lakers, first to dance on a professional level for 3 teams in 2 sports with the NBA and the Golden State Warriors, and then the NFL with both the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. Bonnie-Jill is also the first woman to be awarded 6 championship rings in 2 pro sports, a Super Bowl ring cheering for the 49ers, and 5 NBA championships rings as a Lakers executive. She's currently a CBS sports reporter and host, and of course, the reason she's here, she works with many animal organizations as a celebrity ambassador on numerous national campaigns. Her philanthropic work with the military includes creating her Hounds and Heroes charity. And I say that to the dogs here today, so you should know who this woman is. She's a passionate voice in the animal welfare movement, lobbying on Capitol Hill and traveling the world to save animals. And she's here today to be with us for the Tule elk of Point Reyes. We're thrilled to have Bonnie-Jill Laflin with us today. Go get him, kid. And stay around this one, too.
Right, okay. Thank you all. First of all, I want to thank all of you for being here today. It's a big deal to have anyone in the presence of the Tule elk and being here in this beautiful atmosphere. And for the guy over here, that means we're doing something right? Because I think if someone's that upset, that means we're doing something. I want to start off with that. I grew up with the Tule elk, and when I say that, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Concord area, but our backyard would back right into Port Chicago, and there was the Tule elk. So every day I would go out there, and I would, as a little girl, just fascinated with them on their beauty. And now, as an animal advocate, I've been following this story of Point Reyes and for some time now, and I was heartbroken to see, especially when I found out that they were depriving them of water and food and just dying of miserable deaths and the lack of food and nutrients. I just had to get more involved, and so that's why I contacted IDA after they said, hey, can you get more involved? And then learning that this was all because cattle ranchers are using the public lands to raise over 5,000 cows and to compete with just a 600 elk for land and food and water. And now the National Park Service supports a plan to shoot some of the Tule elk at the request of the ranchers. And I was outraged because if the animals can't be saved in a national park, where can they be saved? The Tule elk are rare animals who deserve protection and not a bullet from the cattle ranchers. For me and for many of us here, they're a national attraction. And I'll tell you, I've seen this and been in some of these factory farms, and they're definitely not. The question is now, is the Park Service putting animals in the environment before the ranchers? And that's my problem, because it's all for profit. It's not the purpose of the national parks, as most of us know. Some facts about Point Reyes factory farms have contaminated the waterways and destroyed coastal wildlife habitat. Also, cows can be confined and abused and tortured. So at the end of the day, we're abusing 2 different animals, and that's a big, big, big problem. The situation is not right for the animals affected, and I feel like it's an injustice and it needs to be rectified. And so many species of animals are destroyed because of the animal ag industry. So I'm a vegan, but you don't have to be vegan or vegetarian to care about this and what's happening at the National Seashore, because it's wrong on so many levels. These magnificent animals have grazed the peninsula for 10,000 years. 10,000 years. So we need our voice to save them, and the lives of the Tule elk depend on it. So thank you.